everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video I'm so excited to share with you, my apartment tour. I'm really proud of how I decorated my apartment, and I know that apartment tours are one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, so I can't wait to share it with you today. I've lived in New York about 13 years, but this apartment is by far my favorite apartment that I've lived in. It could be because of amenities, it could be because of where it's located, but I truly love this apartment and I'm so excited to share it with you today. For context, I live in downtown Manhattan, like East Village, Soho, Chinatown kind of area. I moved into this apartment in July 2020, yes, during the pandemic, and since then I've been in and out of quarantine here. I've been making meals, I've been decorating the space to look how I want to, and I think that I am almost done, and I'm so excited. I can't stop saying it, but I'm so excited to share it with you today. So let's get started. The first thing you'll see as you come into my apartment is my exercise bike. There's really no way around it. It's definitely in the way when you come into the apartment with a big box or bag full of groceries, but it is nice to be able to have a piece of exercise equipment in my apartment that does fold up pretty small, so it's not in the way that much. It is great to have a piece of workout equipment so that I don't have to leave my apartment to get some exercise. Then, turning to the right when you enter my apartment, behind this door with a full-length mirror is my bathroom. It may seem small, but for New York City, it's actually a pretty decent size. We've got the shower curtain here, I think is from HomeGoods, and inside my shower, we've got these amazing self-stick shelves from Amazon, which hold everything I need. This apartment didn't actually come with a shower rod, so I had to buy my own from Target. I got one of those curved ones, which seems to add a bit more space when you're in the shower. Then over here, no glamorous way to put it, is the toilet. I've got a squatty potty, very essential for colon health. And then I've got my tissue, which has been a game changer with toilet paper shortages and whatnot. I don't know how I lived without this thing. Then over here, we've got a Bath & Body Works wallflower, Bath & Body Works hand soap, and my sink, as well as my under sink storage, which is pretty spacious. Then we've got the medicine cabinet here with pretty good storage and my makeup on display. I don't have a lot of makeup, but we've got lip stuff on the left and eye stuff on the right. These slippers are actually taken from the Conrad Hong Kong. Then we've got a single hook over the door here for my robe and my towel, and that's the bathroom. So outside and to the right of the bathroom, we've got the entrance closet. In here, I have one of the things that New Yorkers dream of having in their apartment, which is a washer and a dryer. If you live in New York, you know how rare and glorious it is to have a washer and dryer in your apartment, so I am very lucky. Above the washer and dryer, we've got some household items, and I bought some Lazy Susans from Amazon to keep them on, just so I don't have to get out my stepladder to get items that may be far back into the closet. I think it's a really great way to make the most of like storage space in a small apartment. On the other side of the closet, we've got my vacuum, all my coats, some reusable bags for grocery shopping, some masks, 2 air beds in case friends or family stay over, and then we've got my yoga mat, clothing rack, toilet paper, and that's the closet. And then we turn around, and next to the front door, we've got the entranceway. I bought these hooks a few weeks ago off Amazon, and I stuck them on the side of the entryway cabinet, also from Amazon. And it's great to have my mask visible to see, which ones I have, which ones are clean, match them to my outfits, and they're tucked away enough here so that I can't see them from my couch, which is great. Up here, we've got my Rifle Paper Company travel calendar. I love these calendars. I buy one every year, and this one is particularly great. I think I'm going to hang this print up when the month is through. Under the calendar, another unicorn for a New York City apartment, is central heat and air conditioning. I've lived here for a very long time in New York and never had an apartment with central AC, and it is life-changing. Next to the calendar, we've got a selection of family pictures. So both sides of my mom's family immigrated to the United States through Ellis Island from Eastern Europe in the early 1900s, and actually ended up very close to where my apartment is today, which is kind of kismet, I felt like, when I got this place. We have my mom here, my uncles, my grandma, grandpa, and their parents as well, and all of these pictures were actually taken in New York. It's nice to have this history here to remember what was here before and how hard my family, even like my extended family, worked to give me the life I had today. Under those photos, we've got this art that I bought in Florence when I took my very first international trip ever to Italy in 2015, and I was with my best friend when we bought this, so it's really special to me. And next to that, we just got like a macrame from Target. So this lamp over here is USB and it's a touch lamp, which is great to just easily turn on when I get home and to plug in my headphones, things like that. Then we've got this kind of entranceway stuff, my headphones here, keys, sunglasses, lots of hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, as well as my lint roller. Over here in the cabinet, we've got some keepsakes, a shadow box full of Broadway tickets, some teacups from Miyajima Island in Japan, a bunch of plays, as well as some beautiful glasses I got from working on Broadway, which you might have seen if you saw my Broadway swag video, and some fairy tale books, as well as a picture of a very young me in front of a bookcase because I love to read. And to the right of the entranceway, we've got my kitchen. The first thing you see is my fridge. When I travel, I love to collect magnets of the places that I've been. I especially love to collect like those kitschy little ceramic looking magnets. They're cool. That's always something that I bring back from my travels, is a magnet from the place that I've been. Then at the bottom, you know, pictures of my friends and I, things like that. Next, we've got the microwave, which I use far more than I'd like to admit. And then we've got my stove and my oven. Now, this is one of the only things that I unfortunately don't like about my apartment is my 2-burner electric stove. I'm definitely more of a gas stove person, and this convection oven, which takes forever to preheat. Since moving into this apartment, I've actually relied mostly on my air fryer and my Instant Pot, and those actually live in the entranceway cabinet. A small New York apartment storage for you. This kitchen also contains something that a lot of New Yorkers dream about, which is my dishwasher. I'm so incredibly lucky to have a dishwasher. I've never had one in New York before, and it saves so much time and aggravation. It is absolutely life-changing. And then on the counter, of course, we've got my cooking tools, as well as my chopsticks and my reusable straws, my dish soap, my hand soap, my blender, which I really can't live without, my coffee, knives, and my cutting boards. So to the right, over here, we've got some photos. I'm actually not in the same place in these photos, though it looks really similar. The top one is Zurich, and the bottom one is Salzburg. These are from a big trip to Europe with some of my best friends in 2017. It was such an amazing trip. Then we've got this poster that says, "The only men I need is ramen." My friend Rob actually created this for me after I shared this quote on my Instagram stories. It fits me so perfectly, I think. And then next to that, we've got a poster of Miss Dolly Parton, whom I love. I don't think this poster is still available, but I will link the artist below. I knew once I saw it, it had to be mine. I love Dolly, I love coffee, I love mid-century vibes. And then we come to my kitchen table. Now I don't usually eat here. I usually end up eating on my couch with my lift-top coffee table, but this is nice to have, and especially when it's safe to have friends back in your apartment, this will be a great space to have. On top of the table, we've got a lamp from IKEA, and then a vintage bowl, which I usually keep fruit and bananas and stuff in, but I don't have any of that right now, so it is empty. It says Great Smoky Mountains, so that does go with Dolly over here, which is nice. Then, under the table, we've got a storage ottoman, which I keep some blankets in, as well as some weights and workout shoes for my exercise bike, and it can also work as extra seating when you've got people over, hopefully soon. Then we turn to the right and we've got the office area. Now, I don't work from home. My job on Broadway is not really a job that you can transfer to a work at home kind of thing, but it is nice to have some desk space. We've got 2 shelves here, which I can keep some of my trinkets, just things I've got traveling or just love them. My Torii Gate from Fushimi Inari in Kyoto, my globe, some travel books, some cool photos, a plant, and then my MacBook on the desk. And honestly, like my dining room table, I tend to use my computer the most when I am sitting on my couch with my coffee table lifted up. We've got my wireless printer over here, which is amazing to be able to print things wirelessly from my phone or my computer or my iPad. And then over here, we've got my living room area. Now you may recognize this spot. I filmed quite a few videos right here. My couch here, or should I say love seat, is vintage. It is definitely on its last legs. Article, are you listening? But I bought this couch about 5.5 years ago from a thrift store in Virginia where I grew up. I bought it for my first solo apartment, and it was already vintage when I got it, so it was definitely worn down, but in the past 5.5 years I've worn it down some more. And actually in the throes of quarantine, I ripped off the skirt at the bottom of this couch. It took out all the staples, cut all the fabric, and made it so you can see under it. and I think it gives it a nice look. But yeah, this couch is definitely on its last legs, and maybe once quarantine is over, once my job is back, I will buy a new couch for the space. Above me here, we've got a macrame that I found actually from Amazon. This was a really big space to fill, and I kind of toyed with the idea of this macrame for months, but I'm really glad that I bought it. It fits the space quite well. Of course, it is hung up with command hooks, which isn't that beautiful, but what can you do? And then we've got my singular throw pillow here. This pillowcase was actually bought from an artist market in Mexico City, and I love seeing it. It reminds me of my travels. Then, of course, we have my coffee table, which I've already talked about quite a bit. It lifts up, it has some storage inside, which is great. Then we've got this rug, which everybody has, but I really like it. I think it works well in the space. We've got a poof from Target, and then we've got one of my many fake plants from Target over here, and my TV setup over here. Now I've got my blinds down for privacy, but my apartment does have a great view. You can actually see One World Trade out the window one way and the Chrysler building the other way. The apartment also gets really fantastic light in the afternoon. When the sun shines a certain way, it actually causes rainbows on my floor, which feels absolutely magical. I call it rainbow time. Anyway, this TV stand is vintage. I actually got it at an antique shop in Virginia where I grew up, and I love it. It's a gorgeous piece, and it holds a surprising amount of stuff. Up here we've got some vintage travel books I've collected, as well as some language books, and then on top of that we've got a live plant. Can you believe it? And then next to the TV we've got a lovely candle from Harlem Candle Company in this gorgeous glass jar, and then a lamp from IKEA. And then above the TV are two different prints from Rifle Paper Company, which I actually cut out of old calendars and then hung them up with two photos of myself I love from my travels. The one to the left of Mexico City is actually just outside of Mexico City. That's Teotihuacan. But the one next to Tokyo is actually not Tokyo. That's a church in Zurich. But I just love that photo. I love Tokyo. I love Mexico City and these pictures. And it just makes me happy every time I see them and reminds me of some great trips. So before we go into the bedroom, you might have noticed these three photos hanging up here. I mentioned before that both sides of my mom's family immigrated here in the early 1900s and settled in Lower Manhattan. And these pictures are actually my grandma and grandpa, my mom's parents, getting married in 1950. And here at the bottom, they're actually getting ready in the apartment my mom grew up in, which is so close to where I live now. So I think it's cool to have family history from over 70 years ago here. I didn't know my grandma. She died before I was born, but my grandpa actually helped my mom raise us, me and my brother, and he is a really great guy. So now let us head to my bedroom. The first thing you'll see in my bedroom is my fantastic velvety blue bed, which I think I got from Amazon. The pillow in the front there is actually from the same market in Mexico City where I got the throw pillow for my couch. We've got my white pom-pom bedding, which I also found from Amazon. Love that. And then this jute rug from IKEA under my bed. I've got some space under my bed, which I use for clothing storage. Again, small New York City apartment. Straight on here, we've got this vintage lamp next to my bed, as well as this letterboard I bought from Target that I made to say once upon a dream, because if you know anything about me, you know that I am a Disney freak. And then this little plastic placard that says good night in Chinese, which I bought from a dollar store in the city my brother lived in when he lived in China for a year. I just thought it was cute. To the right, we've got my closet, which is actually pretty big for New York standards. I have a lot of stuff shoved in there, my away suitcases, so much clothes, my Christmas decorations, off-season clothes, just like a ton of stuff. Behind the door, we've got two Broadway show posters. If you didn't know, I work on Broadway, and these are two shows I've worked on. On the right, we've got Constellations, which was a beautiful show and a really great work experience. And on the left, we've got Company, which was actually the show I was working on when Broadway shut down back in March. So hopefully it will be back open again soon. Hopefully you're watching this and Broadway's back to normal. But both of these shows are fantastic, and these posters make me really happy. Also, I didn't realize they both started with C until I hung them up. Next to the door, we've got my dresser, which is also vintage and from a thrift store in Virginia. And actually this dresser and my nightstand are from a brand called Fashion Trend by Johnson Carper, which actually supplied the furniture for I Love Lucy. So I love that. I love the history of it. They're a little beat up, but what can you do? On the dresser, we've got another picture of my grandparents who I told you about earlier, and it says "Do Not Disturb" on it, which I think is pretty cute. Behind that, we've got some postcards and notes. We've got some fake plants, a Target candle, some books, a dish with my favorite earrings, this Mr. Potato Head cup I got from Shanghai Disneyland I really like, this penguin, which is a friendship thing with my two best friends who I love so much, and the salt lamp, which is actually not plugged in because there is absolutely no space to plug it in next to the dresser. I was so extremely lucky when I moved in here that my dresser and my TV stand fit absolutely perfectly in this space without even like an inch to spare. Then under the dresser, we just got some baskets from Target that keep things like beauty products and towels. Again, small New York City apartment living. And yet another fake plant with an IKEA rug. Above my dresser, we've got this hat from Rome. It's actually very hard to find hats that fit my very big head, but this hat was really large, though I like it for display more than I actually wear it. Then we've got this mirror here that I bought from Target, and next to that we've got these pictures I bought from Framebridge. The bottom is my brother and I in Shanghai, right outside Yuyang Gardens, and then on the top it's me at Fushimi Inari. I will say that above my bed does look a little bare and I can't really decide what to put up there. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you think would look good here. Now you might be asking, but Danielle, what do you pay in rent each month? And that's kind of a hard thing to answer. That is because this apartment is through the New York City Housing Lottery, which I've actually made a video on. You can check up here. It's what's called a middle income apartment. So this apartment is a much lower rate than the other apartments in the building. Now I pay around $2,000 in rent a month, but that is absolutely not market rate for an apartment with a washer dryer, a dishwasher, central heat and air in this area. Apartments in my building go for about 3 times what I pay. So keep that in mind. If you want to check out my housing lottery video, I will link it above as well as in the description box below. The housing lottery in New York City is absolutely one of the things that has changed my entire life, and I am so grateful for it. And I love this apartment so much and I'm so glad to have it. I plan to be here as long as I can be here. And that is the apartment tour. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I will see you next time. Bye.